from my laser buddy. He's got this laser connection, and these things are about $1,000 a piece. And the laser fiber goes inside here. It's a big old diameter deal, and then this here actually mounts into the machine. You know, the laser optical comes in this way. You can see it's got like some grounding lugs, so it knows the fibers in here, or whatever. These things are expensive, and this is a quick connect for that also. But here's the problem: they had an issue with it, and you can see here's a set screw, and they tried to get this thing out, and it actually broke off in there. Now, there's no real, it's really thin. There's not that many threads here, but if you look inside here, this thing is actually adjustable on here. And so you're gonna have to be very, very careful if you're gonna drill something like this out. And I'm assuming that's probably stainless, something like that. And you can kind of see here, it was probably, you know, something to like that effect. But anyway, but the head broke off or whatever. Anyway, he's asked me to get it out, and I'm going to show you my way of getting this out, and that don't involve a drill bit. Hang tight. Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to find the right size nut made out of the right stuff in order to build this up and weld a nut on it so we can try and extract this bolt. And I don't know if you guys have these yet. I have these little tubs that have all kinds of nifty things in them. And I'm not a hoarder. Hey, check this out though. Oh, squirrel. Anyway, you know, these are some shims for a stranger in. But everybody has to have one of these, right? I'm not the only guy that has these miscellaneous nuts and bolts and all this other crap. I mean, this stuff is valuable. And then I have a whole nother drawer too. Well, anyway, I come up here with a couple different choices. And I think it's stainless, I'm pretty sure. I'll put a magnet on it and find out. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use a washer, but we're going to find out. So we need to get this torch switched around a little bit. I'm going to use a 40 thousandths tungsten. We're going to be really low amperage, and anybody that knows welding or TIG welding, you want to use the material that you're going to be adding to it and the actual tungsten size to the amperage that you're going to use. So low amperage, low size tungsten. Big amperage, bigger size tungsten. And same thing with the filler rod. It's the same deal. So we'll get these things switched out here real quick. You know, the guys that follow me know that I'm not just a welder, and I'm not the best welder, but I've surrounded myself with information from different people who are good welders to try and make me a better welder as myself. But also, you know, I'm an amateur CNC machinist. And I say that because I don't do it for, you know, every day like some people do that are experts in their field. And so I just do the best with what I have, and I try and gain as much knowledge from other people. And hopefully my channel is able to help you guys a little bit. So this is what we end up with. Look how tiny that tungsten is. And I'm going to run you through kind of what I'm going to do here. So this is the part. You can see where it's broke off. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to sit here and dab, cool off, dab, and cool off, and build that up. I'm definitely going to put it in a position where it's not so shaky. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use a washer. Depends on how it builds up, but I need to stay off, you know, the mating material. I just want to stay right on that broken bolt and not onto the part itself. And then I'll put a nut on it, and then I'll fill it up and connect the two. But I want to make sure that I have really good adhesion, and that first arc is big. You got to make sure you get enough heat in it. You can see it's walking around a little bit. I just want to try and get that tungsten right where it needs to be, and then get it nice and molded before I put that first drop in. I'll let it cool for a second. I'll fire it back up. Get that drop to start to melt again. Add another drop to it. Let it cool off. You can see I'm just building that bolt that's broken off back up. But again, that first drop that was in there, that is the most important. And I'm so sorry, you guys, that this is just a little bit blurry, but, you know, I'm throwing my camera inside of a welding helmet, and it's, you know, having a little problems focusing on it, but I hope you get the point here. And I'll just keep doing this until I feel like I've got enough height in it and the ball is big enough. And I don't really want to get the diameter of that ball bigger than the bolt itself because I don't want it to spill over onto the part. So this is what we ended up with. We'll give her a quick white job here, and let's see what we have. I don't have any arcing going on the part whatsoever. So that's a good sign. And here's what we have. It looks like I have this beautiful BB right on top of that bolt. You know, I just want to grab a pair of pliers and try and do that, but I'm scared I'm going to scratch the part up, and I really don't want to do that.
I did get it pretty damn small, so I went to I think a 1032 or whatever it is, and if you look, it'll sits right on there. So I'm going to do it without a washer. I'm just going to try and get that 1032, you know, welded right to that nut, and then see what we can do.
So when you get started on this, you really want to try and focus that first part of heat on the ball that we just made. We don't want to do the nut first. We want the ball. That way, so we know we have good a melting mixture between that ball and nut. But we want that ball to melt first because that's what we're going to. If we start melting the nut first and then go to the ball, that necessarily is not the best mixture of metal. And I believe that you're going to be way more effective if you do, get that base metal first. And then we're just going to sit here and fill that up once we get that ball melted. And then we're going to let her cool off. Cool it off with the argon, shield it, and then we'll see what we end up with here.
And if you're a religious man at this point, you always just say a prayer for, knowledge and not luck, but if you're in good standings with God, sometimes it helps. Not too bad. That's not bad. Come on, baby.
On that first turn, when you first move it, you don't know if it's actually twisting the weld or if it's actually moving the bolt. And in this case, I feel like it's moving the bolt.
Using my nice Matco tools. Come on.
A bingo. Now let's see what we got here.
There we are. Threads are intact. Perfect. It's really not that hot. Gosh, it's like a reverse element. How crazy is that? Anyway. Okay. Take the old man glasses off. Because I am kind of old, but that's okay. So let's see what all this is all about here. Oh, the thread's fine. Yep, that's what I suspected. Oh my gosh. Look at the threads. How crazy is that? If you would have tried to drill that and take it, it definitely this process was the way to go on this particular deal. And that's why you couldn't drill all the way through it without damaging these threads. These threads are O2 fine. That's what they are, O2 fine. Anyway, so I'm sure he'll be happy that we're all back in shape.
I know the next thing in the comments I'll hear is, oh man, you can just take your MIG welder, man, just put it right on there and zap that thing down in there. But you know what? That works about half the time, and it doesn't concentrate and focus the heat on the actual part that you want. Not only that, it splatters all over the damn place. Now, since the welder's out, I need to get this dragonfly back on this yard ornament. But hey, check this out. Oh shit. Look, I had it up on the steel bench, but I got my ground clamp up there on the right-hand side on the welding bench, so old Rob just took a pretty good shock. And I thought it was pretty funny, so I had to show you that. I want to show you my bloopers too. But anyway, so I'm going to get this old dragonfly back up on this yard ornament for a person that works for me here part-time and stuff. She's just amazing. So here's the deal. My mom always told me, if you can't be handsome, you better be handy. So you know what? You all need to get out there and learn how to weld. Get you a cheap MIG welder from Harbor Freight or something and start building things. Get the hell off of YouTube sometimes and get out there and work on some stuff. And watch the joy that fixing this little thing brings.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyway, that's Rob Wendland's How to Get a Bolt Out. Thanks for tuning in.
In my next upcoming video, Buzz's Bomber, world's fastest 66 moment, coming back at you.